Guys, you can say something even before we start. This is an open forum for everybody. We are here to learn together and also get knowledge, yes, together. So you can, maybe you can tell me, what are you to learn from this? What are some of the things that you'll want to know regarding studying abroad? Or what are some clarification you'll want to know regarding studying abroad generally, regardless of the questions, or regardless of the country? Yeah. Yes. Files, I've seen you. Karibu sana. Yes, guys, please let's engage and kindly tell me, which country are you interested in? What are some of the things that you'll want me to discuss today? Yes, tulisema this is an open forum for each and everybody. Morompi, do you have any questions even before we start? Sure. So unaweza pindua, iko juu, inachukua hapa alafu huko kwingine. So unaweza pindua uangalie from your end. See, that's better. So una switch. Ishaingia Instagram. Let me disconnect. Flip camera. Mm. Instagram iko sawa kila kitu? And YouTube. Kuna unachukua hii. Nivo. Okay, so my producer, I'm waiting for you. We can start. So, good afternoon, good morning to everybody. Good that sijui kuna wenye wana watch YouTube, wengine wana watch pale Instagram, wengine wako TikTok, wengine wako FB. We really appreciate. And I hope you had a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. And I'm so humbled to see all of you. Hata wenye waliona post, and you guys, you started bringing out questions on the issues that you'll want us to discuss regarding studying abroad. I really appreciate. So without further ado, allow me to start, and I'll start by introducing myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Purity Koki, from Grace International Kenya. I'm in charge of media and brand specialist here at Grace International, and I also assist in applications to the Europe and the Asian countries. For the Europe, majorly we have two major study destinations, among them being UK and Ireland. And then for the Asians, I assist admissions to Malaysia, to Japan, to Thailand, and also Hungary. Yes. So basically, today the main reason as to why we are here today is for us to get to explore the study abroad opportunities, in terms of what are the opportunities for you to go and study abroad. But before that, unajua kuna wanasemanga a journey of 1,000 steps starts with one I don't know, of a milestone starts with one step. So I just want to go step by step in terms of first of all, I take you from the first step to the last step until umefika huko, na pia after umemaliza shule. So basically, allow me to introduce Grace International. And for Grace International, it's a company that I've worked with over like 2 years right now. And it's one of the companies that nimepata, it's legit in terms of its services. It has 17 years of excellence, and actually tulifika 17 years this year, like this week. Yeah. So congratulations to us. It has been a journey of learning and also of growth. Yeah, that is what I can say. So far, we have over 500 educational providers worldwide, having so many outlets, among them being Australia, among them, the other one is we have outlets to Canada, tuko na outlets za New Zealand, tuko na outlets za UK, we have outlets for Canada, and now for the Asian and the European countries. And aside from that, we have over 26,000 students that we have assisted. So our success stories to all the Grace International offices, ziko over 26 over 26,000 students when you're a partner na sisi, and they have finished already their studies, and that is based on 2022 analysis. So Tuki County, we are almost at 27,000, which is a very good number. Then aside from that, we have a major Grace International. Basically, it's a global company which has over 30 offices. Guys, I mean 30 offices. That is, this simply shows that Grace International haijaanza juzi. It's something yenye imeanza kutoka kitambo. Having 30 offices in this kind of economy, yeah, you know, it's a good thing. It shows that you have grown and we are experts in terms of studying abroad. Yeah. So we have over 10 offices in Australia. Tuko na office in Melbourne, tuko na office at Glenlorry, office in Perth, tuko na office in Nepal. In Nepal, we have like 13 offices. And then here at Kenya, we have 2 offices. Here up Nairobi, and then the other one is at Eldoret. And for those when you're wanauliza kama tujaingia Canada, we are coming, and by December we'll have another office at Canada. So that means tutakuwa na over 31 offices, and that's a good thing. It shows that each and every place yenye student tunampeleka, we have a physical office over there, so inakuwa ensure that your safety iko guaranteed, na in terms of someone whom you can go to na akuassist wakati uko huko, like you'll have them. Yeah, I hope guys you're understanding. So basically our main head office inakuanga Nepal at Kathmandu. And maybe mtu anaweza niuliza who founded Grace International. So Grace International, it's a dream, or rather a reality. I don't know how to make it. It was a dream that was socialized, and ililetwa into reality by one man that I've interacted with, and has a very big heart, by the name of Dr. Ramchandra. He's our director na Kopalia Australia, heading the Melbourne office na all over, for seeing all the Grace International offices. We have over around 30 directors. I mean, each and every office has a director. So guys, that's basically the function of Grace International. To learn 2006 until now. That means we have 17 years of exit. Just as I said, we have over 500 educational providers, all those offices. Yeah, so I believe umepata like an overview of basically Grace International. Yeah, but come on, please, you're open to ask questions that unaweza taka kujua regarding Grace International, its foundation, na all that. So guys, mtu anaweza jiuliza, why should you go and study abroad? Yeah, okay, I fully understand that here at Kenya we have educational institutions zenye they are quite good. I won't say they are bad, because I'm also a Kenyan citizen, or rather an East African student, or East Africa. Like, why should you now go to study abroad? Now there's so many reasons as to why you can go and study abroad, or I can say there are so many reasons why you should go and study abroad, and among them it's the cultural exposure. Once umeenda kusomea abroad, like, you will interact with people from different countries that have different cultural diversity, whereby if you are in a class, let's say for example, if you're in a class that have Nepalese, you have Sudanese, you have Uganda, you have Ghanaians people, you have people from Asia, you have people from Mid East, you have people from like over the world. This means that to interact with these people, you can be able to learn the cultures, the different cultural orientation of different people. And that's a good thing because when you're creating a network with, like among all these people and you interact now, and then you'll also be able to learn more on the way of life of different people. Like I'm sure, like if you are a person like me who loves exploration, if you interact with people from let's say from Ghana, unaweza understand how are these people, how is their way of life, how do they interact, are they human beings like us, are they different from us, like you just get to learn more people. There's that language and cultural immersion, and that's a good thing, by the way, because if like if you be able to interact that like people from 30 different nationalities, that means even your network, no wanasemanga your network is your network. So the more people you know, the more connections you create, the better for you. And then the other thing as to why you should go and study abroad, it's that in terms of the academic excellence, I mentioned earlier that you're dealing with over 500 national service providers, and these are institutions or other colleges or and universities that are highly and globally recognized. This means that if you're going to a particular university with us, ile degree yenye utapata from a school or that university, it's a highly portable one. So if you're going to study in a, let's say for example in Thailand, or in Malaysia or in Ireland. Let me use an example by one of the institutions that you have in Ireland, like Holmes. You'll find that ukishamalizia huko, if you're going to get your bachelor certificate or your master certificate, it will be recognized everywhere. Hautakuwa like limited to work in that particular country or to come back. That means you're increasing your ability level, and also you are increasing like you're in terms of competitiveness utakuwa juu sana. So the degrees they are highly portable, and all the institutions, even before we do the application, we always show you the rankings of the school. Yeah, so kuna hizo rankings tuna deal na ziko highly recognized. And then another thing in terms of the highly quality education. By quality, there's so many things that you look at in terms of quality. One, you'll be able to study first of all, you'll study a oriented course, where course yenye utakuwa unafanya for class, that is the theory part, and also the practical. So with the practical, you can be able to get experiences with the real market. So you won't do an outdated course. And the mode of learning, it's effective. It's student, I can say it's students, like it's in a favor students sana. The class ratio is very good, always small size. So this means that even the student atapata one-on-one mentorship and also guidance from the teachers. And in terms of quality, I hope you have understood like like hautasoma like degree atuendo shule fulani hapo, and then after umemaliza recognized. Yeah, you get? Because one, let me give an example. If you go to study in Australia, and then when they're at school like Melbourne Institute of Technology, that's first of all, that's an institution inajulikana everywhere. Even the employers or the real markets in that school, so they always know that even when you graduate from your shule, they're highly qualified. Yeah. So that's one. You'll excel in terms of academics. The one, it's your personal growth and experience. I mean, like right now, let us look at the economy here at Kenya. And that there are so many limitations, especially for us youth, in terms of the development. You are a third world country, but for most of the destinations that tunadil nazo, they are developed country. So in terms of economic growth, kama infrastructure, kama economical wise, politically, they are grown much better than us. So in the environment ya mtu ku grow personally iko juu sana. And also in terms of independence, as you go and study in these particular destinations, utapatana na opportunities mingi. Like if you're going to kufanya like kusoma bado unaweza fanya kazi, na pia unaweza like unapata you can also earn an income na ina contribute sana to growth, na pia independence. The other thing, it's about global network and also creating global connections. Earlier nilikuwa nimesema your network is your net worth. The more people you know, the more people utasaidika, na the better you utakuwa, or like, yeah, basically your network is your net worth. You know, we are in a century whereby most people, actually, let's me use in Kenya, kuna hiyo analogy, if you want to work, okay, I won't say it's the whole percent, but like the larger percentage of you to get a good job, you must know people, because it's from people you create connections, and it's connections where you opportunities come up, you see. So you'll be able to get to create global networks na pia connections with people from different countries, and which it increase pia competitiveness yako. Yeah, like you'll have vast opportunities to choose from, and that's a good thing. Aside from that, in terms of, I can also say that when you go and study abroad, like when you go and study abroad with different people, you'll be immersed in terms of the language. Your language proficiency will change. Your personality skills will change. You'll grow either physically, mentally, in terms of kufikiria outside the box. You'll grow basically. So those are just a few of the reasons as to why I think studying abroad, it's quite a good experience and worth taking. So aside from that, I'll speak about the study destinations that you have. And we have quite a number, among them being Australia. Our major study destinations is Australia, because for Australia, ni Australia tuko na a lot of, okay, so ni Australia, I said earlier that tuko na ofisi mingi. We have over 11 offices in Australia. One of the reasons why our major destinations, that our corporate and our regional is the major regional office in Australia. Na pia our own directors and the founder ako pia Australia. And when you look at like the study destinations kwa sahi, Australia has a lot of major attractions, especially as an international student, because kwanza ukiangalia the student visa itself, you're being given a student visa 7 years. That means if you're going for a bachelor program and it's taking 3 years, utakuwa na 4 years za kufanya kazi. And then ukiangalia kupata the permanent residence in that country, it's quite simple to get. Like the process is not quite complicated. Na pia we also believe in the opportunities because even when you look at the population, it's not densely populated. So that means there are so much like land yenye ijakuwa utilized, na so many opportunities hazijakuwa bado maximized on. So those are the major things zenye we consider Australia our main study destinations. And being the major study destinations, it doesn't mean that we only do that country alone. Pia tuna major na other study destinations kama Canada, which is also a good study destination. Tuko na New Zealand being the second most cleanest and the peaceful country. It's one of the country yenye nimeipenda in terms of safety ya mtoto, the courses, especially if you're going for any technical courses kama the engineering courses, foundational courses. That is the best country to go to. And then we also deal with the Europe side. Nilisema in Europe we have 3 study destinations so far, but you're adding zingine mingi. Tuko na UK, tuko na Ireland and Hungary. We have opened up for the Asian market. For the Asian market, we have Thailand, we have Malaysia, na Belarus. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say, we have both the high end, let me call them the high end and the low end. This simply means that if you have a dream of going to study abroad, and let me say in terms of the things that are required for you to go and study there, utapata zina limit. Let's say vitu kama vitu kama some things like the bank statement or the financial capability yako haikuruhusu, ama I don't want to use haikuruhusu, I can say like it's limiting you. Basically, we have all these study destinations, so depending on what you have, I always say depending on what you have, that is will guide you basically on what you have in terms of your academic lens or your academic qualifications, you in terms of financial capability at the sponsor, and also your personal interest to guide to. That's why nimelist all those study destinations. So for those wenye walikuwa hapo and you have joined the other lives, nimekuwa nikisema ati, let's say for example you can afford a bank statement ya 4 million, then on the high end countries, among them being UK, Canada, and New Zealand, those can be a very good, they can be potential countries for you. But if your bank statement is lower than 3 million, then you can try the Asian and the European. So basically, that is when depending on what you have will guide you getting the right study destination. And by the way, guys, we don't choose the destination for you. We give you the study destinations which yenye unaweza enda, then we'll make tunakuacha you make the decision. Yeah. Yes, so basically that is in terms of destinations. And guys, if you have more queries regarding the study destinations, unaweza uliza pia, na pia we have US. Yes, now in terms of the programs, I received so many queries from people telling me that ni course gani unaweza enda kufanya abroad, by the way. Ni courses gani ziko marketable. All I can say that hakuna program mbaya na mzuri, because when even before you choose your course or you choose the career that you want to pursue, there are so many factors you have to consider, not just in the money side of it. Yeah, so in terms of what are your interests, unaona, like all program kuna mbaya na mzuri, but the truth of the matter is there are some courses zenye ziko more marketable than others, because you may, let me give an example. A while back here at Kenya, kuna the issues that there were top 5, you know, the top 5 courses zenye zilikuwa watu walikuwa wanataja sana, kina teaching, law and medicine, nursing and all that. I'm not saying they are bad courses, but with time, with the way like technology inaenda advance na pia innovations zinaenda zikinini, utapata kuna courses zingine zinaweza kuwa outdated. Like let me give an example, like I don't want to say accounting, but basically I hope you can understand. Yeah, ni kama kwamba uende ufanye surveying. Okay, that's a good course, but then again, what will be the employability and competitiveness in the current economy? So those are also the things that we advise students on to check. But still, there are other is whereby you can go and pursue in a particular country and then you get the permanent residence easily. And given such, I can also give an example, like let's say like in Australia, there are major courses. Kuna community service, we have social work, we have nursing, we have the business related courses that are doing very well, we have courses. So unaona mtu mwenye atafanya all those courses, their chances of kupata job haraka ziko juu. But all programs ziko tu sawa na hakuna specific program yenye ni better than the other one, ziko tu sawa. It all depends on your interest and in the long run which field you want to major in. Yeah, so that is in the academic programs. All programs are there. Yeah, it all depends now where. Guys, having understood the destinations and also the programs, allow me tell you in terms of what are the requirements for you to go and study abroad. And the first requirement is your identity. Yeah, and for the identity, we are going to request for your passport. Regardless of your we require your, and the passport now require the academic documents. If you're going to apply for the bachelor program the first time and you haven't done any diploma course, you just require your KCSE and the KCSE, the school living certificates, and the school living certificate certificates both for primary and school. But if you're going to pursue bachelor program and you've already done the diploma, then we'll require a diploma certificate and also the transcripts. And in addition to KCSE, KCP, and the school leaving certificate, if you're also going to pursue for the master's program tumefanya bachelor, so itakuwa ni the bachelor certificate, the transcripts. If you've done diploma, you include diploma certificate and appear transcripts. Then you go to KCSE, the school leaving certificate. So those are the academic documents are required. Basically, in the level that you're going to apply to, the previous question. Yes. There's somebody who asked me why require the KCPA, especially if you're going for masters. We need to account for each and every year in your information. So let's give an example. Tunasomanga 8 years huku Kenya for the KCPE education. So if you're going, if you come and tell us ulianza form 4 at this particular year, tunataka kujua what basically have you been doing. So we need to account each and every year. Yes. So that is the academic documents. I hope you have understood them. Let me give an also on top of the academic documents, we need gap clearance documents. If there is any gap, I've said that we need to account for each and every year. So let me give an example whereby we'll commemalize up the bachelor program 2021 and right now it's 2023. We need to see what have you been doing for those 2 years. Yeah, in terms of ukifanya nini, kama umekuwa job, then we require a recommendation letter from the employer. Yes, so that is the gap clearance documents will require the recommendation letter from your employer. That is kama kuna gap. Aside from the gap clearance, we need the CV, and the CV should be updated. Inafaa ioneshane like a clear preview to updated na chronological ascending order. 2014 ulifanya hivi alafu changanya sijui nini, unaipanga na good way. Then aside from that, we require proof of English. I truly tunafunzangwa na English, but you see when you're applying for these countries, the kind of English yenye tunatumia ni different na yenye huko. And despite of us kufunzwa na English in all our educational nini yetu, you will be required to do an English proficiency test exam. Na ile country unaenda, it will determine the kind of English test to do. So for example, you're going to a country like Australia, UK, Canada, US, you will do IELTS. But for US you can do TOEFL, you can do SAT. For Ireland, you can do Duolingo. Yeah, so basically ile country yenye unaenda determine the kind of English test yenye utafanya. But majorly, the IELTS and the globally recognized everywhere. So fanya IELTS tutakuwa on the safer side, but pia opted for Duolingo, especially kama unaenda the European part, then itakuwa bado poa. Yes. And allow me say that for the English test, we are giving training for it. We offer training for both IELTS na PTE. For the IELTS, the training goes for 2 weeks. Then the next week you do the exam, and then for the exam results, unagoja 13 days. So that means for the English, the IELTS part, you require like 1 month. And then for the PTE, inaenda for training for 2 weeks. You do within 2 days, and then the results zinatokea 24 hours. So within 24 hours, that is. So that means for the PT unahitaji just like 3 weeks ushamalizana nayo. So na for Duolingo, that's an online. Yeah, hiyo inanga mambo mingi. You are in a better place, you study it, and unafanya tu exam. But majorly I can advise you can opt out for either IELTS or PTE. Usiji restrict or in terms of the country that utaenda. Another major document is the intention of you going abroad. Unajua nimesema it's a good thing to go abroad, but then again we need to see are your intentions clear. You see, What are you going to do? Okay, there are so many reasons as to why you should go abroad, and that means there's a different type of visas that you can use to go to transit to abroad. But basically here, mentioning in terms of more on the student visa. For the student visa, we need to know what are your intentions, and the only way you can show your intentions for you to go and study abroad, it's through the SOP. The SOP basically it's the personal statement. The countries inaitangwa the personal statement, but inajulikana sana kama the SOP, or the statement of purpose. This the statement of purpose, it's just more of an AC ended AC, whereby you're just giving a clear information about yourself, like in introduction, yeah, personal, like this is your name, umetoka hapa, this is the home setup, and all that. So a brief description about personal your personal information. Then the next thing, it's we need to see your educational background, unataja kidogo. Then you answer questions like why are you going to that particular country and not any other country, why do you want to go to that particular institution, what will be the incentive to return back to Kenya, who will be catering for your school fees, aside from who will be aside from your school fees, what is your migration history. Also put some declaration. But for the statement of purpose, I feel like kukupea stress because you have counselors and also the people when you're in charge the admissions process, they'll guide you on how to write it, because normally the SOP in a kuna some schools in a prefer in a different way, so you'll be advised accordingly, but it's not quite a complicated things. And then onto the major documents, it's on the proof of funds. Guys, as much as I am saying it's easy, it's not easy if you don't have the right finances. And I mentioned earlier that depending on your financial capability, I'm going to advise on which country to go to. On the high end country, UK, tuko na Australia, tuko na New Zealand, tuko na US. We always advise students at least have a bank statement and inaonyeshana like 4 million. About the education sponsor, there are different ways how you can finance yourself. One, you can finance through, you can also take student grants or loans, or also you can include two or just one or two sponsors. And we always advise where more than one, at least let the primary sponsor equate into like your family, like the nuclear family, the siblings, kazi, ama wewe. Yeah, this is if you're including a secondary person, at kama ni auntie yako ama ni cousin yako, akwetu ni kama anakuja kukusupport. Yes, so that is in terms of the proof of funds. And for the bank statement, actually it should show that you're capable of paying school fees, yeah, a whole 1 year, a tuition for 1 year, and the living expenses for 1 year. Normally for the tuition fee, mtu anakwanga anajua through the offer letter, or once ushafanywa counseling ushajua shule yenye utaenda. And then the other thing maybe I can mention, it's the, aside from you showing us that you're able to cater for your school fees and the living expenses, we also want to see if you can be able to cater for other related costs, vitu kama visa, yeah. So have a bank statement at 2 million, the Asian countries can do good. If you have a bank statement at 2.5 to 3 million, then Europe can be a good study destination for you. But just come to us with whatever you have, then tutaku guide. So basically guys, those are the documents zenye unapaswa kuwa nazo, na pia the requirements. Having understood the requirement, allow me to take you the steps. So studying abroad, it's not I to go today and then you go tomorrow. It has a continuous and a sequence steps which are followed. And for us, we have that we have the steps, which the first thing tunafanyanga, it's the career counseling or stroke the university selection. This is why we sit with you if umemaliza form 4 or umefanya bachelors and now master's program can I go to? There's always that slot ya kufanya a career counseling. The career counseling, we have career experts who really do that for you, depending on your interests. What are your personal interests? Wanaku advise ni which field unaweza major in. Then once to major, like determine interest, is how do you determine my personal interests, you know? So for the personal interest, we take you through a personality test evaluation, whereby kuna some tests zenye tunaweza advise you take them through online. Then from your personality we can tell how can you major in, na pia tunaweza angalia kama umaliza form 4 na ujajoin, what are core subjects, which subjects were you fully performing in vizuri and all that. Yeah, so for the career, kama mwenye bado hajajua now which career path should I take, you shouldn't be worried because you'll be taken through that. And then the university selection and the study country selection pia utagaidiwa, like you'll be shown if you go to Australia, because each country, guys, it has its own merit and merits. So if you're going to a particular country, we always ensure that you have the right information for you to go to transit to that study destinations. So if you're going to Australia, you'll be able, even before you do the application, unafaa ujue basically, okay, nikienda Australia, how is life there? Kuna vitu kama racism, how is safety, you see? So kuna hiyo the university selection slot, whereby you are guided on to how you choose the study destination. And just as I said, we don't choose a career path for you, we don't choose a country for you, we just guide you on how you can choose and make the right decision. So once you've settled on the country, the school, and also the next step is on the documentation. This is whereby we request you to share the documents zenye nilikuwa nimemention hapo nyuma, kina KCSE, kina academic documents, kina SOP, kina passports, and also the CV, recommendation letter, unazileta pamoja. And tukishapata all those documents, then the next step kufanya application kwa ile shule ambao ulichagua. For the application, that is whereby we are to that school, we are the ones who do the action, guys, for you, so you don't have to get worried also on that. So we do the applications, and then the school responds by giving us the offer letter. Normally the offer letter nina determine the kind of the amount of school fees for you to pay, and also you're in a determine like utalipa per year. There's some schools that zinataka ulipe per year. Okay, all the requirements na the covers all these study destinations. Na kama currents inakuwa slightly, but it's common for all those study destinations. So wakati umeshapata offer letter and then you're told to pay a certain amount of school fees, there's some countries whereby you'll be requested to pay an initial deposit. Let me give an example, like Ireland will make the first initial deposit ya 6,000. Then once you pay, tunatuma kwa shule. Or kama ni the other study destinations, wanaweza kuambia you can pay this amount of school fees either per year or per semester. Once you make the payment, tutatuma tena shule, we get the acceptance letter. After getting the acceptance letter, now we have already closed the part ya nini, now the application process. Now we head now to the visa processing and the lodgement. In the visa processing, there are other documents that are also required. I mentioned about the bank statements. It's not just about you bringing the bank statement. We need to see the bank statement. What are, depending on how you generate the income, how can you send to prove how you are generating the like how you're generating the funds. This means that if you bring in your bank statement and for you're doing a business, then kuna documents zenye tutahitaji, vitu kama the annual income, vitu kama business permits, vitu kama the affidavit support ya wewe mwenye anakulipia. So there are other visa documents, checklist zenye you'll be given by the counselor, but this one normally una explain yangu before pia uanze the process, uanze kujitayarisha mapema. But what basically I can say in this is that for the For the bank statement, once you provide the bank statement, please, we need to see the annual income, because I mentioned that for the bank statement amount inafaonyesha na unaweza lipa tuition fee ya 1 year, unaweza lipa tuition fee ya like the living expenses ya the whole year and other related costs for a period of 1 year. We also need to see wakati umeenda huko, like is the family guaranteed, like they'll still be able to cater for your school for the second and the third year. Yes. So the only way we can access that, it's looking at the bank statement ya mzazi mwenye anakulipia for the last 6 months. But for the bank statement pay na vary. Kuna some countries zenye zitaitisha 6 months, kuna zingine zitaitisha 3 months. So bado tunarudi pale juu, ukishachagua country utaelezwa more details on that, but pia we need to see, are you able to access the funds? Are the funds genuine? And also basically ni hizo to the bank statement, hainanga maneno mingi. So once umetupatia those visa documents for some countries like Australia, kuna part inaitangwa the GTE. Those are the same documents as visa. The GTE basically it's whereby now the visa officer anachukua hizo documents anatuma kwa shule, unapata the COE or the confirmation enrollment yenye itakusaidia now we launch the visa. Okay. Sorry for that. I'll answer that question yenye nimeona hapo. What are the qualifications for going to a college outside Africa? I've already mentioned about the requirements. Requirements basically they are the qualifications that are required to go and study abroad. Now among them ndio nilisema the academic documents, the statements, the passports and all that. Yes, but for more information, please make sure you contact us after we are done with the video. So allow me just to go through it and then nitajibu hizi maswali. Yes, so we were on the process. Once tumepata the visa documents, we launch the visa for you. We are the ones who like tunafanya the entire thing ya visa. So we kazi yako tu ni kutupatia documents. Ukishatupatia documents, hiyo ingine unatuachia. Yes, then to share the visa, once you get your visa, then from as the Kenyan team, it's a pre-departure orientation. This is whereby we start guiding you into details of start preparing you in terms of the mentally, like tunakupatia more information. If you're going to Australia, then ninino like in the weather, the climate iko aje, ni nguo gani unapaswa ubebe, kutafuta part time, okay, upata part time job utafanyaje. So that is the pre-departure orientation which tuta guide. And then once where visa imekuja, siku yako umebook flight and ready to go, we are the ones who take to the we normally take you to the tunakupeleka airport. After now you've unafika huko, ukishafika huko we don't just leave after umeenda, we take you now. Ukishafika huko, our team on the other end, the international offices, they're the ones to take you through the post departure orientation. Okay, mtu anaweza niuliza nitawajua aje? Okay, what happens in the pre-departure orientation, there's a slot whereby create for you to tend to interact with the people in your. So let me give an example. You want to go to Australia to pursue nursing, we have already taken students huko. So out of those students tumeshawapeleka, we can create and also kuna Kenyan, there are certain groups za Kenyans who are living there. Tuna ensure even before when unajua watu. Then aside from that, kuna watu tunaitanga chaperone, they are the ones to guide you kishafika huko. I believe if you have been going through our social media handles, you see there's some videos ambazo tumechukua after the student amefika huko akipokelewa. Yeah, so utapokelewa by someone from our team, na that is the person mwenye atakuguide through the entire process ya kuwa huko na pia kuensure umesoma, umemaliza na pia umegrow. Yeah, because for us it's not just about you going and studying, it's all about ensuring that you're growing either education wise and also financially and all that. Pia mtu anaweza niuliza, let's say for example umeenda na ujui like it's a new place, like haujui mashimo za huko, is that the person mwenye utakuwa in charge, like atakuwa in charge of you, ndiye atakuwa like kuguide after the study, like the work opportunities over there. As an international student, you'll be eligible to work and study the same time. Because the studies in abroad, for the studies in abroad, you do them part-time. So let me give an example, like Australia, you'll have 48 hours per fortnight for work and get a minimum wage rate of 33 Australian dollars. 33, that's around 1,500 to 1,700 shillings per hour. And one part-time job in a take 3 to 4 hours, and you can do 2 or 3 depending on your flexibility. Me, one thing I always tell students, for like grow in terms of financially, na depend na wewe kujituma. So when you're flexible and how you can be able to balance yourself up, you can do even up to 3 jobs. But pia unafaa pia make sure masomo pia inaendelea. For the other study destinations, kina UK, kina Hungary, not Hungary, kina UK, kina New Zealand, kina US, Canada, unapatiwa 20 hours as an international student per week. But for Hungary, for those who are interested to go to Hungary, it's in Asia or yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I think Europe. Yes, for Europe, you'll be given 30 hours za kufanya kazi within 1 week. So unaweza divide, if you're having 30 hours and you have 6 days, that you have 5 hours per day to work. Yeah, so kuna hizo work study opportunities whereby ukishafika huko as an student unaweza tumia za kuji maintain na pia kujilipia schools. And normally what is that for this process of study abroad, it's more of an investment whereby the parents only have to pay your school fees for the 1 year or the 6 months yenye imeindicate kwa offer letter, and then once you go shamaliza 1 month utakuwa shapata job and then utaenda kujisimamia. In the second semester actually you're the one to pay for the school fees because opportunities ziko. Yes, so that is in terms of the study work permit. And then I also talked about the network and the global connections that you create the other end, and there are different ways on how you network, where among them being having classmates when you're umetoka internally na pia professors from different from different countries pia. Another thing, there's always alumni networks. We have some schools like in Australia whereby once umemaliza ukirudi Kenya or you go to a different country hawakuachangi. Let's say for example you go to a school in Australia, like Leadership Institute or different school, unapata for that particular school inaweza sema after umemaliza for your masters program, hata kama utakaa US or hata kama utakaa Australia or utaenda different country, tuseme utataka kusomea PhD yako, like unaweza connect na the same students. There's always that network whereby if you're finished you can apply for an online study hiyo shule, ama utapata there are some schools that offer special package for the alumni. So if you are it's something like MIT, wanaweza sema maybe you can do a counseling more of a short course huko tiana hiyo, na pia kuna hizo alumni networks in parties and events whereby you can interact with people. The other thing, you get an industry in international industry exposure. This basically mean by this is that once I said that for all the courses, by the way, for all the courses, when you'll be doing your career counseling, we advise you don't just do a course, do the course that they're competitive in the real market right now. Because we don't want you to do a course it's not highly marketable and then you will struggle to get a job. So the courses, they are industrial oriented. If you are going to US, the international, I said for all that is they're highly portable. Kazi unaweza fanya kazi any other part of the world after umefanya. You'll get an international industry exposure, you to increase your competitiveness. And then there are things like internships and work placements. Once umefika kitu kama sekondia, kuna internships na tacho. And then after umeshamaliza kuna ile work permit ambayo nilikuwa nimesema, ambayo once umeenda like after umepata a slot to work in a particular job opportunity, uko one utapata to the real market, hautakuwa una major na theory. Sasa utainteract na the real market, utajua what are the needs for that job in the real market. So that is the internships and also the work placements. Yes, guys, I guess it's that in terms of the requirements, in terms of the procedures, in terms of the study destinations. I hope you guys, you have understood, but I'm looking for